So how about if I just talk for a few minutes and then we try to save as much time as we can to make sure I cover your questions and hear whatever it is you want me to hear. I'm grateful to be here. I appreciate the invitation. It means a lot to me that you would invite me here to talk with you. Let me tell you just a little bit more about myself personally and then a little bit about why I'm in this fight, and then we'll open it up. As the president said here, I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I'm the baby. I have 3 older brothers. All 3 of my brothers joined the military. My brothers are still around. They're back in Oklahoma now, and they still give me advice. My oldest brother, Don Reed, was career military. He spent about 5.5 years off and on in Vietnam. We were lucky to get him back home, you bet. He teaches me every day that we honor our promises to our active duty military and to our veterans. That is the measure of a nation. My brother David trained as a combat medic. When he got out of the military, he started a little business, didn't work out. Started another one, didn't work out. Today, he's retired, and he teaches me every day the importance of protecting Medicare, Social Security, and our pensions. That without it, people cannot retire with dignity, and that is powerfully important. My 3rd brother, John, the good-looking one, when he got out of the military, he worked construction. And when he could, he had a good union job. He operated a crane and is a member of the operating engineers. Today, John is also retired, and he has a pension because he was part of a union. And John taught me something that I say in every town hall I go to, and that is unions built America's middle class, and unions will rebuild America's middle class. Our family didn't have much. We went through some really hard times. We went through some times that were better. My daddy ended up as a janitor. My mom worked a minimum wage job at Sears. I saw what that work is like for both of them when they had no union, they had no one to protect them. I watched my daddy get laid off because he had a heart attack, and I watched us lose the family station wagon and nearly lose our family home over it. My path was different from my brother's. All my life I've wanted to do exactly one thing, and that is be a public school teacher. By the time I graduated from high school, my folks didn't have the money for a college application, much less send me off to 4 years so that I could be a teacher. So my path has a lot of twists and turns. I got a scholarship to college, and then at 19 I dropped out, I got married, went in a different direction, and then found a commuter college that cost $50 a semester. And that's how it is that I was able to finish up. I got my diploma, and I became a special needs teacher. Whatever lies ahead of me in life, I want you to know I've already lived my dream job. That one is a calling. And I probably would still be doing it today, but by the end of the first year, I was visibly pregnant, and those were the days when the principal wished good luck and hired somebody else for the job. So I was at home, I had a baby, I couldn't get a job. That's how I ended up going to state law school, $450 a semester. Graduated visibly pregnant. You'll discover a pattern to these things. Practiced law for about 45 minutes, and then went back to my first love, which was teaching. Maybe like lots of kids who grow up with no money, I was always focused on it. So everything I've taught has been about money. I've taught contract law and commercial law and corporate law and partnership finance and all of the Uniform Commercial Code. I've taught debtor-creditor law, bankruptcy law, law and economics. But there was always one central question in my work, and that is what's happening to working families. Why is it that people who work every bit as hard as my folks worked 2 generations ago today find the path so much rockier and so much steeper? And for people of color, even rockier and even steeper. And for me, the answer to that question is pretty clear. year by year by year for 4 decades now, we have watched as our federal government has worked better and better and better for the wealthy and the well-connected and kicked dirt in the face of everyone else. So that's why I'm in this fight. I'm in it to build a grassroots movement. I've done 127 town halls now, 128 town halls now, and at every single town hall, what I've talked about is my own story, but also the corruption in Washington that infects the place, that influences every decision that gets made. Yeah, it's about campaign contributions, but it's about so much more. It's about the lobbyists. It's about who gets to be in the room over and over and over. And I talk about my plan for that, and that is to attack that corruption head on. I talk about in every one of these how we need to change the structure in our economy. And the number one way to change the structure in our economy, we've got these giant corporations that have so much power. They're big international corporations. They have no loyalty to the United States of America. If they can save a nickel by cutting an American job, they'll do it in a heartbeat. They don't mind, because they're in it only for their profits, for the bottom line. So to get more power, more structural change in the economy, we need to make it easier to join a union, and we need to give unions more power when they negotiate. I have said that in 127 town halls. I've said it to more than 50,000 people personally, and however many people are watching it online, because I believe it, and I believe it is critical to how we're going to make change. I also say it's time for a wealth tax. 2 cents on the top 0.1% would give us enough money for universal child care for every baby age 0 to 6 in this country. It would give us enough money in addition for universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old. It would let us raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in this country. It would give us enough money to make technical school, community college, 4-year college free for anybody who wants to get more education. It would give us enough money to put $50 billion into historically black colleges and universities and help level the playing field. It would give us enough money to do all of that and to cancel student loan debt for about 95% of the kids who've got student loan debt. It would also leave us another $100 billion to be able to put into fighting the opioid crisis and the mental health crisis in this country, to be able to help our brothers and sisters who are dying out there. To me, you want to understand a country's values, look at its budget. And that's why I go at it directly in this way. And here's the good news. That plan for a wealth tax is not just popular among Democrats, and oh, it is. And not just popular among independents. A majority of Republicans across this country support it. That's how we build real change. So for me, that's what the heart of this is about. This is why I am in this fight. Not in a million years did I think I was going to run for president of the United States. Shoot, I never thought I'd run for Senate. I knew what my job was. It was to be a teacher. It was to give this information to others. But you know, sometimes the fight comes to your front door. And I'm just not somebody who backs down. The way I see this is you don't get what you don't fight for. And I'm in this fight because I believe we can build a better America if we do it together.
Hear, hear.
So there it is.